The Ministry of Health don't na the Olajuyin Children's Hospital na Freetown, and the cabinet direct minister them question directly and for interest accountable week. Last week, Dubois, one of the fact-checking sites, published him alone five. Then I fact-check him. So, but the contacts, the first and the fourth friend, they build their own. Already the first standalone. This opportunity at this own public say, the Ministry of Information public say, the Ministry of Information and Civic Education cross-check. Na man who gets great reverence and respect. Plenty conversation. Tripartite respect. Plenty conversation. Tripartite na salon. Yes, thank you.
Now on voter ID. Sometimes we not get almost all the qualified. Maybe there is need for we for look at the ECS and in an address to the nation. After that election, move for chair. But after that, concerns been they say how the vice president movement to the All People's Congress, we show some willingness for Commonwealth Secretariat and other agencies for appetite. Government, vice president from the Gambia, Madam Tamako Jallow, then come in October, then come party. And in that agreement, a report was presented to His Excellency the President. So the eighth recommendation, we also put at the back of the salon, most times report that can come out without implementation. Government, where His Excellency the President, with humility, accept, he choose me for represent the government of Sierra Leone as one of the 3 people arbiter within the United Nations system na salon. So they get 3 chair within the United Nations system na salon. So they get 3 chair, they begin column, tripartite, and for make recommendation with one objective, for a report was presented to His Excellency the President. So the 8th recommendation, we also put at the back of the recommendation what to call the implementation. We realize, in fact, the numbers as represented by the APC, we are far below the number not implementation. What focus on now the Electoral Commission for Salon. That's where we are. Electoral Commission for Salon. That's where we are as of now. Thank you.
Wow.
And for make recommendation with one objective for
the entire summary of tripartite
to be critical, because the All People's Congress
video they don't do with the recommendation, they don't accept the all.
One. Again, a committee headed by the Attorney General.
Self teach me, not to school, but outside of the school system.
Ladies and gentlemen, from where that report the
implementation framework, and I know say this
presented to him on behalf of IFES,
right now for.
So what's going to happen now? The tripartite recommendation, what they call a political parties liaison committee. That's where we are as of now. Thank you.
Wow, that's what I say, a teacher. Not so. An excellent summary. The entire summary of tripartite. The recommendations, also we come out. The progress don't make President Bio in willingness for engage in consultations and engagements. Them self teach me, not to school, but outside of the school system.
We don't hold
self teach me. Not to school, but out
meeting with civil society. We don't hold several meetings, including with, a national direction. So a lot of review they take place around now. Then they also review the Public Elections Act 2022. Then they also review the PPRC Act 2022. Then they don't begin, they don't go far. How would they do them? We don't already start them this week here. Last week, we don't hold targeted consultations with people and they deal with the elections business. So the EMBs, the security sector, we don't get meeting with them. For more, we are waiting a national dialogue for take place for talk about, really want for talk about that whole process there. We don't meet with and the first past the post system. Also meet with all the registered political parties and expert meeting. With that meeting, they will bring experts and where they can talk about issues them, and then various people within Sierra Leone. Beginning at that meeting, they live. Then self don't talk about what's in. Come out McKinney just for attend this process. Meaning, expert meeting. With that meeting, they will bring experts in. With that meeting, they will bring experts and where they cannot talk about most of the issues. Tomorrow, experts and where they cannot talk about most of the issues. Tomorrow, we'll go do then we'll go south. Friday and Saturday. Out of that day, we'll get professionals that we don't put together. We'll get professionals that we don't put together. Sierra Leoneans, with the facilitate together. Sierra Leoneans, with the facilitate this process here, and then go right.
For make sure say we do waiting President Bio committed to, waiting we brother and sister in the opposition and the international community being agree on. One of them master sabi people and way we engage with in this process, na doc within an institution, the Institute for Governance Reform. But before doc, you go into the tripartite and una young comments on Usawide and all. Last week, I see una put out the latest Afro Barometer reports on Salone. I've been saying you can take some moments and just present to Fambolin at this platform, waiting at some of the interesting findings sent from Afro Barometer. We as a government will like for listen and learn and engage. And then I go let you also rub more spa Usawide on the tripartite implementation and waiting when I go like for see more from civil society perspective. You say get 7 minutes.
Good afternoon, and Honorable Minister, thank you. I tell you, thank you. You invite me here today. So I would, I know the time not long, so let's try for just make it small. One, let's give them small information about the Afrobarometer. Afrobarometer is something where IGR they don't do them in over 40 countries, 40 African countries. And the reason why they do Afrobarometer now for let people then get ordinary citizens and get a platform who then can get a voice on policy and decision making. It provide family with a way for letting talk about their experience on democracy, governance, and how they see their life. So Salone, we start AB, we've been participating at AB from 2012. This is not the sixth. You get an equal chance for being selected. So that's something where you can talk, say the data generalizable. So some data, and I want to give data we actually go link to the topic where we are for discuss today. 2025, we see say government will get high marks whether they prevent or resolve violent conflict. So 72%. Of citizens talk, say government, they handle preventing or resolving violent conflict well or very well. So it's high. We also get on crime, 64% of citizens we talk, say government, they handle reducing crime well or very well. So then at the top two things outside government perform well. You also get improving basic health services, when I be 53%, and addressing education, 69%. So the alleged coup later that year. So IGR, we've been doing a cost of politics, a cost of violence paper, where we note that during this period, you get 83 people that will actually end up for lost their life, both citizens and police. The economy be there in lockdown for over 30 days. So we get over 416 million GDP Leon loss, 416 million Leon's loss. So against this backdrop, you get a tripartite. So where you see, say, people then feel, say, the tension don't can dong, you can see, okay, one thing where the tripartite has been doing that for bringing people in together, you get APC and SLPP, we all two come together and agree on recommendations. The Honorable Minister don't talk, say, you get 80 recommendations where they agree on. So we can see, say, well, it's made some level of difference. But where it comes at the community levels, and you see waiting to go on at the community level, we still see a level of unrest or a level of mistrust between how citizens and they see themselves. We be asked one question: how often, if ever, is your ethnic group treated unfairly by government? Meaning, how often you feel, say, your ethnic group, government, they treat your ethnic group unfairly? You get 59% of people the last term, we say, it's, one day they be. It don't come up to 69%. So more people actually say government not treats the ethnic group unfairly. But where you go now, the communities, you see, say there's a level of mistrust of citizens with each other. Where you ask citizens if they trust people then from other ethnic groups, you go see say that trust level don't can dong. So we actually get 52%. So over half of citizens where they talk say, I not trust somebody from a different ethnic group at all, I trust they're small. It don't come up from the last time where we asked 2022. That time then I'll be 46%. Now it all come up to 52%. So we see say 6% more people they talk say they not trust people from a different ethnic group. Trust in other citizens don't can dong. Trust in people from other religions all don't can dong. At the same time, we see say citizens and express concerns about the economy. We get nearly 6 in 10, so 58%, where they say the country they head in the wrong direction. Where you watch that data day, the last time where we do 2022, you be actually get more people we talk say the country is heading in the wrong direction. You be get 67% we talk about what day. Now it's improved, you get 58% where they talk say the country is heading in the wrong direction. But where you ask people about how they see the economy, 23% some concerns around how the economy. You actually get, so where you see them in there, now I make it important for getting kind of a conversations that we will get now. It's key for let we talk about electoral reforms because it can address economic issues and it can also address some of the tension and the division where we see in the country. In the AB, we be actually asked some questions that specifically on electoral reform. We ask people that, almost people that don't ever hear, you say electoral reform, they take place. And this means, now make the work way they do, Mr. Carter, very key. Because you get 26%, now 26% you pass the woman them, 35% of man then talks that they don't hear about time compared to 16% of women. You get urbanites, people that are within the urban regions, that they're more don't hear about time. And people in the western area. So nearly 40% of people in the western area go talk say, yes, we don't hear about this, compared to 21% at the south, 13% at the north, 32 and 26% at the other regions. So you see, say, knowledge awareness of this is low. Finally, in the 25 seconds we're left, where they talk about whose system we need. I think it's fine for go around and ask, but what do we want that a system where go actually address some of the divisions where people and they feel and inclusiveness. So you get right now then they talk say PR or first past the post, but you can actually get inside the PR all the issues, you can address all the issues where people then get against first past the post. La Lefandi for now. Thank you.
Right. Doc, a lot of fascinating pieces of information where you don't present to we. I shall say if the press and Fambulenge follow-up questions and go ask. I be want for know if una been asked questions. I been not ask this to your colleague around open governance, just because we care about that. And we want for see if we get a benchmark with the judge by. Obviously, the country don't continue for rise. Now the press freedom index, freedom of information on MCC, we also they do in the 90%. But one of the things that we this ministry don't try for do as well is taking government to the people them, and that reformity and openness. I mean, we'll take kind of like awareness and things like that. But we really want for see if on our data cover areas that we'll go for look at for say, okay, waiting, we can do more for promote open governance, or if that's not something we wanna cover briefly. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Actually, for we own data, Afrobarometer, you get the same questions the way they ask all across Africa. You get a standard questionnaire where every country they implement. You get some CSQs, country-specific questions, but we own CSQs, unfortunately, not cover open governance. They cover more around questions on democracy, how people then they see democracy, how people then they see elections, how people then they trust different institutions, climate change, corruption. So now then questions, then more we'll be able to cover. Thank you.
All right, brilliant. And I see some banner headline them where they talk about people in perception of the most corrupt institution in us alone. If you like say the police not do very well, but also as you say private sector, parliaments and others them no fare very well. I just want to make clear again, Doc, so far Molengo realize this is when we talk about tripartite, not to be in SLPP, APCO, a government, APC, and the international community represented by the UN. So the SLPP as a political party was not involved in the tripartite process. It was the government of Salone with the political party, and that make important for Lefambulem also get that. So anyway, what I want to do, because I myself get additional questions then for all three of we panelists, but I want for today hopefully open up and give a chance. Tripartite and something plenty people can say they're interested in. Now we get all the experts in IR, we get civil society experts, we get new data from Afrobarometer where they tell you about outside the country there. It say there's an improvement in people's perception on the direction of the country. You know, in data, then you always say, what you watch, not to station a trend. Trend lines. Where are you headed? And with one of the things that we say, we are glad for you that on a number of key indicators, government in performance, or on overall thinking, say, oh, then it targets me because of my ethnic group and things like that, we are heading in the right direction. And then they reflected again in the hard data, where you look at the economy, inflation level don't drop dramatically, the dollar don't stabilize. The other day I did a radio with one board and the opposition party at the host even tell and say the price of pepper in the call the price was 3 times and tell and say no, the price actually they don't. You know. So the basic thing in the country they continue for head in the right directions. Anyway, let's see the hands up for questions. We'll take the first set of questions and then we will pass them over. I think we'll start on this side since we get a majority of hands here. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see no woman hand. And I can like for always give the microphone to one woman. But we'll take the 4 on this side for now and then we'll see how we fare after that. Please, with the honor. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now then, just go. Yes.
Mohamed Kamara, The Watch and Humanity. Dr. Gaima, when Obama came to Africa, it talks say Africa is a must to institutionalize our institutions. This is two-way. The unity agreement and the institutionalization would have been a must equally as well to a given a democratically elected government had it not been for a unity agreement. Now there is a conflict. You get 17 political parties in this country. Today, one will be an opposition, tomorrow one will be incumbent. The question when it's without consultation to the other 15 political parties, hence while as the PPRC Act talks it, all political parties them, the petition of another tripartite against her. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Ibrahim Sarasisi, Voice of Salon Radio. Dr. Gaima, if you they call the tripartite press conference where they organized in Brookfield, there are a lot of issues and we the opposition be raised. How on I would tackle the area of the review and that of also the recommendations with the opposition. The constitutional review, say again politically on the secretariat on the tripartite issues, how that's happened.
All right.
Hassan Gosheko, my Concord Times newspaper. After the 2023 election, one of the issues that maybe come out now be the issue of ECSL releasing the disaggregated data. Now, when Mr. Katabi they talk, they say the tripartite committee don't make recommendation for the review of ECSL Act. So we want to know if the reviewer for actually address this particular issue here. If we go allow for the ECSL begin release the data now to the public.
Mara, at the report for Daybreak newspaper as well as Financial Standard. Dr. Gaima, you are the head of principal advisor to the president in public service reform. what you don't do for implement tripartite accommodation inside the public service reform, and how you see say it will be more actionable, more than a policy statement. Thank you.
All right. We'll tap you on the first. Actually, we can start with you, Mr. Carter. And then, because Mr. Gaima gets so many of the questions then, so I'll start with you and see if you want to comment on something briefly, and then we'll come to Dr. Gaima, we go bring the thing home. Mr. Carter, I think two major questions then where I go direct to you specifically. You're free for comment on the others. But one, the involvement of the opposition in the secretariat. I think one of the question relates to that. And then I think the other one, whether, you know, the details of the recommendations and how they implement the recommendations. And yeah.
Well, first of all, the time, and I don't also tell when I say secretariat, not from the steering committee. So they get routine meetings with the Electoral Commission, PPRC, PSRU. In fact, inside PSRU, their office, now they will say their office. So we saw they closer that would they relate almost every day. So all the institutions that they would they relate to them. In fact, by the end of this month, what we will begin hold to call interagency coordination meetings. What's that they mean? It means say, because we don't want for the go hold one meeting with each of the organizations there, we'll go begin whole meeting, we all day under one roof, and we discuss how the implementations that they happen. So for example, ECSL will grab, give you a profile of what they don't do, and then we'll go take notes of them, and all the others, and then we put them reports together, now we present to the steering committee, then the steering committee, they take action. So that's all the civic engagement. I mean, the ministry self, now they lead on them process, and but we self, they do small, around them one, and they, especially for make citizens, they understand what we don't develop. We will tell you about the 80 recommendations. So in fact, I don't bring some quantity with this. Different conversation about what they happen. We went at the different conversation about what they happen. We went at the people that would implement them. Would they develop what to call a media brief on what thing they happen from the start of that consultation till the end. Then they back will don't bring some quantity come. We'll go shape our own all for make us understand how they move this process here forward.
Wonderful. So we get additional material for Giuna. I collect for self una na say not also ya bindio. We governments they proactively sit down say law design without the information to una before una ask. They are for una. Dr. Fredlin, please go ahead quickly.
Thank you. One question where somebody been gets now be election results for published election results by polling station. Publish election results by polling stations in all future elections. You actually get 91% of citizens may talk say yes. Then for published.
Doc, to be clear, they publish results in polling stations. This is not the practice currently, even in all elections. The question is whether ECSL additionally go now publish a compilation of the disaggregated data. That now this question maybe. So Eliza, the practice currently is Usaimi votes. Where you go there after the votes, the results they did. It did not so. And that's not the law right now. It pasted there. So that's not a reaffirmation. But, Doc, I think the question where this brother asks is if the review go include provisions for ensure say that request where APC even gets, where by the way they're not being asked when Anesco maybe win the election, they're not being asked. Now it's very clear, this is not a pattern of how we don't clear. But so we go satisfy all man, so we go to get access to the Then Mr. Kama asked a couple of questions the way I should say you take note of. One, why make the tripartite or the process being give so much preference to the APC? Here they make no stay, let's set up tripartite, they put me in a committee, Mr. Kama puts me a recommendation, you know. Waiting at the measures that they put in place, we go ensure we It's the issue then they. Yeah? Go ahead.
On the issue of disaggregated data, like where the minister say, the Public Elections Act as amended currently make provision for summaries of results statements and either the post at the polling center. The word disaggregated data was a creation of somebody's imagination. However, because in the tripartite it became an issue, if at some point the Public Election Act is reviewed and a provision is made for say that is the way to do it, then the ECSL has no option. But I want to would say, throughout the tripartite and even as we implement the tripartite recommendation, the principle on which the agreement be stand was one, that the Constitution of Sierra Leone Act number 6 of 1991 will remain the principal law of the land, the ground norm. And anything where they contradict them, unless it is amended, should not be allowed to stand. And President Bio, any recommendation where contrary to any existing legislation, until that legislation is repealed or amended, that recommendation will be held in abeyance until something happens. Because agreements, like you say, between the government and one political party, no go probably can condemn all things that happen. So I want to get that very clear. Now, why one party? Because it was one party that cried foul. And that one party who cried foul, President Bio was been pushed in, and then that party say, we're not going to participate. The councils were not a meeting. Parliament not within meet. Although it's a crime if you are elected by the people, if you hold the service to Parliament or the council, it's a crime. But the president not looking into that too. It's okay if they are concerned, let's talk about the concerns. So that happened. However, as members of the tripartite committee, we make sure say we get the position where they occupy right now. Now, because he just wants to do justice to the public sector reform. The public sector reform in this country is as old as the Constitution itself. He say, if I want to finish the constitutional review, then these critical reforms must take place. Therefore, let us get a dedicated team of people who will be able to run with the reform alongside with the constitutional review so that it deliver a package to the nation. I want to assure you, say, we will get a very comprehensive public sector reform. We will consolidate the gains that we don't do in terms of youth empowerment, gender, equity, parity issues, addressing the issues of vulnerability in society. All of these are issues that have firm footing going into the future. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you very much. We'll get a new number 3.
Response on the climate change and environmental issues in Sierra Leone in the Afrobarometer survey.
The nature. Yes. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Fatih Roslyn Mojoshala Usha, content reporter, Women's Voice newspaper and online TV. My own question to Mr. Carter. I go want to know the financial implication of the tripartite implementation.
Good afternoon. My name is Amos Marshall Taiwali, aka the microphone vandalist. Mr. Minister, I want to direct my question to you. I want to give you some 40 feet container of respect and thank you for how you decentralize the civic disease. But I get a question. Some weeks ago, you equivocally stated that in Kenema, we go host the president in a one-on-one confabulation, one-on-one conversation, one-on-one discussion. But majority in this room go attest to the fact that in Kenema, when everybody would expect the president, we instead get the chief minister we represent him. And many Sierra Leoneans feel a huge sense of indignity. I want to know why we not been get the president. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Yes. Mina Bobodan Kama, the right for news of APCS APP. Don, Madam, close on a report on on a Afro Barometer report on a put the Sierra Leone police at the top, about 73% stand to be corrected. So I'm for no waiting the result to this and how the government will respond to some of them here, because report in, report out, not to secrecy, corruption, deep-seated na the Sierra Leone police. Don Dr. Gaima, one of the recommendations then na the tripartite report, one of the recommendations then went out for the threshold for reduce them from 55% to 50+1. How best when I don't get consultation with all political parties, not only APC or SLPP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Jaffa. Ideon.
Good afternoon. Mina Jaffa Davis from Radio Democracy. Before this term, the Electoral Commission at Salon be during the regional workup, and they talk about how they don't do internal review. As you know, a principal advisor on that sector,
the question on this ECSL line specific to you, then just when I just do member on, and when I just present the reports to His Excellency on ECSL, I think you just want to know what's in the inside there.
The report entitled Independent Management and Functional Review. So a look at the current mandate of the ECSL, the mandate adequate as per the Public Elections Act 2022 or not. It also look at the way the organization is structured. Currently, the commissioners are based in Freetown, and they get both policy and operational mandates. Now, the reports they say maybe there is a need to separate the policy from the operational mandate. The report also they try to recommend say instead of the commissioners be based in Freetown, they should be located in the regions where assigned to them so that they take themselves closer to the people. There is also the issue around recruitment. They say ECSL forgets a standard recruitment policy, but inside that policy also there should be sensitivity for make sure say whether they recruit, ethnicity and region become a factor. So no one region or one ethnic group be more dominant than the other. And then the rest of the other one now how the ECSL go work with PPRC, how you go work with the audience, for example, the judiciary for election-related offenses that goes to the court, and then kind of. And then there are other issues that have to do with financing and funding of election. How we will make sure say funding be available to the ECSL on time, for make sure say they do the operation and be able to give credible, acceptable results. So those are the issues. But like the minister says, we still get one more step. The president will receive the report. The political parties liaison committee for look at the report. But in the meantime, His Excellency don't already mandate that there should be weekly report to him on the status of implementation, so that if there's any obstacle. Number two, it also requests that the Ministry of Finance for able to provide the resources required for make sure say those recommendations are rolled out. Mindful say some of the recommendations and we need for do them, they're not for be done 6 months to any pending election. So that's the good one. The other one is a quick one. On the threshold, 50+1, currently the Constitution of Sierra Leone now 55% to get. If we want to go 50+1, then until we do the constitutional review and an amendment to the Constitution takes place. But 1991 Constitution currently is 55%. Second round is
no one day yeah, about climate change. We show we say we really still need for do intense information, education, and communication around climate change. 36% we talk in one day about then we also be asked questions around who do you feel say now the most responsible for do something? Now the governments get the primary responsibility for limit climate change. But you also get 31% where they talk say we the citizens, we self get responsibility for limit them. So 45% for the government, 31% where they talk say we as ordinary citizens it's change. And you get nearly 90%, so 88% of citizens where they talk say we need for invest in infrastructure. We go able for handle extreme flood and the droughts the way we they get. 88% of citizens and talk that what they. Then you get 72% where they talk say we need for invest in wind or solar energy, even if it get for cost we more money. 54% where they talk say then take the away with the cut. Let we stop them. Let we ban them completely. So over half the talk say let we more expensive. So that's some of the key things then that's where we get around climate change. Where campaign corruption, yes, we still see the police as the most corrupt, and this not changed from 2022, the last time where we asked this. 73% of people in the talk say the police are the most corrupt Salone. From there, you get 51, over half where they talk say business executives, now the next, we are the most corrupt. And when you watch across Africa, we get some of the highest numbers of people that where they talk say business executives and corrupt. So we need maybe, then next now, members of parliament, you get 49% where they talk say you MP, and 49% where they talk say you tax official, then self-back corrupt. So just under half. And then amongst the top, for round them out, you get 41% where they talk say local government councillors, then self-mixed ban corruption. So I think one of the questions that we ask that why, one, I mean, we get your own ideas as researchers. Who do you meet most frequently in a street? Now the police. And anytime where you can meet them, maybe depending on who that you be, they can ask for money. So maybe that's one reason, because the public, they interface directly with the police. But we also get for ask yourself, almost the police and almost waiting and they make, waiting at their salary. Business executives, maybe you could look, say, business executives, now they can depend so some of the contracts there, where we get for, where government and people, where they do, how do people see them as say that they do things on the interest of citizens, or maybe not their own, then they fend? MPs, you can talk, say MPs, now then they get oversight over the contracts and things where we see. So you get different reasons them. We make, maybe you get the high percentages. But once we AB not they do, we not they ask, wait till make you feel saying at the police, wait till make you feel saying at the MPs, wait till we just they ask that of all them people there, who do you think is involved in corruption, or you know you're enough for tell we. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Katza, you get a few questions.
So the first question about finances around tripartite. Well, I will tell you, say, the government of Sierra Leone don't commit, support, towards the implementation of the tripartite recommendations. So even the setting up of the secretariat, the payment of salaries of the experts and other staff that we did it. But also the support, for example, the way they go around this process here. Whilst we get other international partners, them, or government said they come for support, we for move around and support and handle them processes there. The opportunities and they again from programs and we then go support for support civil society, for support political parties, for make them get a lot of engagement and make citizens they understand the process. But also, we also get some support from the international community. Because of the commitments where government don't show and the level of relationship where government don't build with them on this process. So any Southern gray area where government not they support, then they support them. So for example, with this recommendation 78 national dialogue, now the European Union they support them through, and so we all, they move on, forget that conversation from a past. So they also talk about resolution 4 around political prisoners. You know, really the is tripartite. Tripartite na recommendation 3. Recommendation 4 na a whole conversation about detained people and we get association with the elections. The list where the opposition with the begin even up to more than 300. But we then go. Then give the list to the correctional center. But then go there look now. It come lesser than that. But then so what the Attorney General do is sit down with the opposition again and discuss the issue. They say may then self go again. May then look across the country, and the opposition begin down to an organization will help them for do that. When they return back, the number count down to not even reach 15. So after them down a lot don't happen, and most of them people and they don't come out. One or two people and they we not go don't come out it. Now, because of this, we side them in the process. Because by that time that process they reach to that point, one or two of them they don't convict them already. They only wait for sentence. And if that don't happen, it means say the Attorney General not get any role they again for play, because it go then at the court in hand. And in the judicial system, the Attorney General, when an executive and political head, ain't no one for interfere with what the judiciary they do. So then set up people that system and we don't sentence them. But I mean, from with conversation, instead we believe say other way than they will go deal with Dandy. Yeah, but now that don't happen. Most of them don't come out. They don't go through process. They don't come out. And we've been trying at the tripartite process through the steering committee for us for make all the parties and make goodwill information about what things that happen around Nandi.
Thank you very much. You make an important point about let people know they commit crime and then think say through a political settlement then get backdoor for escape justice. The original list to be in common have been over 300, as you say. When them verify independently, the number being come down to less than 15. Even with that, the only people that we don't left now the one then. So, by the way, Dr. Gaima don't make it clear. The agreement of national unity being say, they're not going to do anything that violates the constitution of Salone. So it was an agreement, political settlement and agreement. Now they one of the recommendations produced tripartite. So you look at some of the other recommendations, the way include release of political or prisoners, the way APC claim for be political prisoners. Now of those, the recommendation was that the government will look into their cases and figure out. Not so, sir. You know, I've been co-chair of that. In fact, I remember saying that me being lead a press conference when I signed the memorandum and the full agreement. So important for state that. And I can say, the one way government get the opportunity as an executive for affect and change, bam, no problem. But government not they grab na money. You also don't want to live in a country where if a case is ongoing with the judiciary, will begin call judge and say you are left that person. This will undermine the democracy and undermine the rule of law. So that's the important one. And just a few, I think I get 3 specific questions. How would you use the chairmanship of ECOWAS for address the younger issue? In a change, we in a country we're very proud to say we respect international law. Of course, we president get a platform now for continue for mobilizing colleagues them across the sub-region for let we try for resolve this issue diplomatically and for end way to don't be clear now an unprovoked aggression by our sister country Guinea. The reason we make it be important for let we be non-talk here, I think I give examples say we're not interested in war. We get complex interrelated relationship with Guinea, yeah? Recently on the power situation, we go to Guinea, we negotiate, and now then they support me with power, they buy power from them. So when you grab for one issue, you grab today, where they can say you spite you this for, you know, when you grab for do that day, say, oh, we'll go take bomb and go begin fight Guinea, no. President Biona, a man of peace, we will continue for explore all diplomatic options them, including a platform where His Excellency gets. Big question on President Biona showing up in Kenema. We don't hear this question plenty. I want to be clear. We commitment now been the 2nd edition of the presidential town hall. We don't know the 1st edition. His Excellency be show up and answered the questions very successfully. Second one, most people will know say His Excellency we don't even travel go bo, he been there bo. Alright? We make all the arrangements. He was ready, prepared. We don't send him the question, they don't come online. But as head of state, he gets certain things the way they deal with where they make you sleep in a net. Where you sleep fine. Because in the day. Thing in the way they happen, where me you know they know. He had to return to Freetown to address important issues. But it been so no one let we cancel the program. Now he insists on 2 important things. One, he said the post when the chief minister where he coordinates the minister them, letting go and sit down at the stage and respond to the first set of questions we don't come online directly. 2, he gave very simple instruction. Every single minister with this salon for left Freetown now and head to Kenema. Because if we're only go ask President Bio question about fit salon, really, President will give you the vision. But now Musa, no so, now go give you the detail. So His Excellency said the Chief Minister and over 24 top government officials, the AG, the top ministers, the health minister, the transport minister, and everybody. Instruction was, when I sit on there, when I answer as many questions as possible. We did it for 4 straight hours, unfiltered and unscripted. So the presidency was there. His Excellency, of course, regrets that he could not be there, but he believes we still had a presidential town hall because we carry the message and we answer the questions on behalf of the first gentleman of the states, and the people of Kenema appreciates that plenty. Final question around what do they do around this perception? So if I let Fambule know one thing, yeah, Afrobarometer know the measure incidents of corruption. It measure perception of corruption. Okay? Then they say, oh, authoritatively na the police na more corrupt. Then they say people they believe say, he framed the question also so. He said, then they ask, which one Pandewa you think say most corrupt? But perception, important. Extremely important. So the police gets a duty. And I know say the Honorable Inspector General of Police concerned about that. How do we engage the public for let the police reclaim their reputation as an institution we know all the time corrupt? But we all get role for play, eh? Corruption, perception, not a PR exercise. Now action. And I use the CCC because every corruption, somebody else complicit in the corruption. You will not follow the law, you complicit, you find another way for go. That is what will lead to that. So Nande, as a civic education minister, now we on Nande. You know, we recently signed an agreement with Anti-Corruption Commission for help establish additional civic integrity clubs in our schools, and for encourage and push this message for that we really embrace a culture of integrity and non-corruption as a lot. So that's something I know we will continue to do. Now, we have about 9 more minutes. I want to see if anybody there will get a burning question we think say, you question or be asked it. You get a burning question. Wanna bring the mic, please. You sure say they not ask you question yet, eh? Okay. So then we will take anybody else. I'll take 1, 2 quickly. Let's start with this one here, quick. Take the mic, please. Just keep it short, yeah? Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Mina Aaron from Serakali blog. Concerning the tripartite, rumors don't go out over here say the ending of the tripartite, our president don't sign and say if hand over to the All People's Congress. And we don't hear done the up to date, even where we don't see say they don't go give the chairmanship now ECOWAS. So we want to know how true Dande they because Dande don't go out say the tripartite we know they don't sign them.
It's good. Thank you. Namek would also go deal with fake news. Let's go. The second, no, we don't say 2. Only the other Monday. That's it. Then we're done.
Yes, concerning the tripartite, when exactly this reform will be taking place?
When?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I feel like I can respond to both questions in my capacity as the official spokesman for the government of Salone. I can tell you clearly, unequivocally, that no such agreements exist, no such plan no day for let the government of His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio for say we don't go get some backroom deal for say we done this, the agreement to the handover to the APC. If anybody believe that day, including in the opposition, it's actually good for we because then they go make sure say they be complacent. Because we intention now they speak now as government now for continuing our power through legitimate means, for win the elections and for continue. I know saying President Bio as well for let deliver. So we go back to the people and ask, the people that will give mandates to in your party, follow will continue because we believe say we ideas and superior and we believe now we ideas and they move this country forward. So that now we second question around timelines. Now the timelines are varied, they're wide. The AG, for example, on the reforms require all money in a big election. Different proposals in there around how we go get to that. Waiting clear. Now that the fact that we don't set up the secretariats, the fact that all the reform, one of the recommendations, for example, now for review the SLBC Act. Ministry of Information, we do that the IMC Act. We already get a copy, we don't send them to the AG for let it take them and finalize and table. So plenty of the reform process, cyber security law as well for review dandy. So plenty in terms of timeline, we treat them with urgency. Each and every one, and the recommendation then diverse. So you're not going to put some of them the way you're not going to achieve even by 2028. Some of them the way to go beyond that, yeah. But the one that we will do today, we do that now. Before we go, I want to give you a chance, a minute each. So we'll start with you, Mr. Carter. Just final word as we close this session. Yes.
So tripartite recommendations about Sierra Leonean processes. An opportunity for make Sierra Leone completing the way don't they around for too long. For example, the constitutional review process over 20 years from Pakaba, Peter Tucker in review to President Kuroma, Justice Kawa in review, now to President Bio. And I think say President Bio really believes say down there for end now. That's one. The second down the back now issue he believes say with 10 reviews here, he go able to solve most of them problems then they. I mean a clear good laws we go talk about how each of them process here go work. And reforms. Also we go look at institutions, then reviews around then structures and functions, then reviews around the procedures and policies, and then laws, and also then review around opportunities for motivate and workers then for make them live up to that kind of standard. I think when we do all those, we're making Sierra Leone a better place.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas Golokata, Chair of the Tripartite Steering, Chair of the Secretariat, Coordinator of the Secretariat, Head of the Secretariat, Coordinator. Yes, Madam, go ahead, Doc.
Thank you. So I think on our side, what we see from the data, we definitely see things that have improved, and we also see areas that we go, people and they ask for more things. We can talk about AB as we can talk about a lived reality. Now, waiting people then also don't experience. So one of the questions that we will be asked is, how do you want to see the recommendation? Just in line with some of the questions that we will not all ask. And one way people then say 93% talk say, all governments for promote regional and ethnic balance in political appointments. I think say we don't come up. So this is something where people then back, they say the same thing, that's something where they want to see. So for we identify national cohesion, we identify economy, we also identify this idea of more inclusion. And so we believe that this process, tripartite, the process on electoral reform, could be one possibility, one way for everybody come around and design a system where people then go feel included, including women, for that way at least get 50%, where people then go feel included and go feel say anybody, salon date for we all, salon big pass we all, as the minister elect for say.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fredlin McCormack Hill, from the Institute of Governance Reform, and I do the Afrobarometer report. We thank you for your good work. Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, your final words, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. I want to let the people of Salon know say reform, not to events. Reform, not to accidents. Reform, not process. There's step against stages. Number two, I want to let people know say the tripartite agreements or the recommendations, bigger timeline, and government they well within the timeline, and that there has been no slippage in the timeline. But thirdly and more importantly, President Bio always can talk say, let's do governance with a humane face. So the reform for B about the people all the time and the people's interest. So the one way Kiwan tweak them for seek political or partisan interest is not fair. I always get this analogy where I can say, where you do reform, assume say the empty chair will sit down in the room, like down there so, other salon people then sit down there. And all they know to see them, you will be mindful about their concerns and their interests. Be rest assured, like Englishman say, President Biode puts energy into the reform process. It must finish all the suspended, long-standing, reform them, constitutional review, and all of these changes. The public service itself, a one-time for a public service for the 21st century. Apart of that public service, that the civil service itself will all get complained about. And at some point, perhaps we also need to do a little bit of security sector reform, and then we'll move. But in addition to that, the job where Moise to do, Minister Bai, others to do, for me, I think say, now the most critical reform of the mind, reform that will make us conscious, civic aware, love the country, patriotism. If we start from that, the rest of the other one are about institutions. But if we fix those institutions and we still not reform their mind, we will not make progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, Principal Executive Advisor to the President on the Public Service and Head of the Public Sector Reform Unit. Fambolem, on that note, now so we come to the end of this edition of the press conference. I want to announce we get the material here with the coordinator of the Tripartite Secretariat Stone Left. My team will distribute unto una after this. Me self one get meeting with the press corps with there. So today, I know I want to follow the guests where they go. I dey stay because we need for talk, me una. So I really want to let all my way there when I'm part of the press corps. We need to have a conversation where I don't plan for a long time, but we'll not get. I want to tell thank you to UNDP and the Chinese government. We help with for refurbish and set up this place and all the equipment they would use for Cantona. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum.